Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and it's another episode of Free Pattern Friday. Yay, it's Free Pattern Friday. Today, I've lined this up. I know you can't see it really well, but it's a block called 4 Points. And we wanted to play around with something and do something fun. And I decided, okay, my four points is going to be dark blue, light blue, and orange, just because I could. And I started to use more of this orange, this paler orange fabric, and I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be such a cute little block. And there's a little bit of a twist in it, but we'll get to that when we get into the sewing. But first, let's do our shout out. Today we have a twofer for you. It's Ruth and Richard at Sage Garden and Art Studio. And they're having a lot of fun on their YouTube channel, and they're both of the shout outs here. Marlene at Dixie Quilters is also on our list. So guys, both of their YouTube channels are going to be on those show notes below. I am so happy that the viewers have been sending me shout outs. I just like, yeah, okay, but we've got a really long list, so I want to get through the list. So we're going to do some twofers at it for a while and hopefully move the list through a little quicker. But guys, please keep giving me shout outs. I just love this. Our next sew along is going to be called Twinkle Twinkle, and it's after Quilt Bingo, a couple of videos after Quilt Bingo, and once we start filming it, I'll announce when it will start, but save your strings. That's your only clue you're getting. It's another one for strings. Mini Monday is coming back after the New York Beauties are done. There's going to be a couple of videos in between, like this, there's just a couple of videos in between, and then we'll start Mini Mondays with a brand new twist, and it's going to be not only foundation paper piecing, but small piecing and English paper piecing, and we're also going to expand the size of the block. The other Mini Monday was like 3.5 inch blocks unfinished. Well, anything less than a 12.5 inch is now going to be on the table. So that will bring us a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting blocks, because I miss doing all these other size blocks and we just have fun with them, right? So that's something to keep in mind, that we're going to be doing this for Mini Monday. The Zoom sew dates are from now until the end of December this year. We have so much fun on those Zoom sew dates. We will be continuing to do that 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Making comments, share, like, subscribe, hitting the bell, all of those things help our analytics, so we can continue giving you free 3 free patterns a week. So that has been one of the things that we've always been striving for. Give you something free, something to look forward to. We also have a Facebook group, and they've changed the community chats, but the Facebook has changed the way we do community chats, but there's lots of fun chats now being set up again by our admin people, and I just can't believe how hard our admin people are working at this. We're filming this September 12th, so yeah, everybody's scrambling to get their community chats up and running again. We also have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord. If you're interested in a 24-hour, 7-day a week virtual sewing date, go ask one of the admins, one of my mini admins, for a invite, and they'll send you an invite right away. Also, I speak for free, and we are going to have a second presentation, a speaking engagement presentation, as after December of 2025. So I'm still working on it right now as we're filming this. I just have to get the pictures and everything that kind of make everything gel together. So also shout outs, please continue giving me shout outs. Yes, I know we're doing twofers today, like with shout outs, but keep doing it. Now, if you have to get a hold of me for shout outs or speaking engagements, my email is under the About tab. Now, I only get like once a week to check my email, so I'm much faster at Facebook Messenger, so that's the other alternative. You can go into the Facebook group and message me that way, right? I'm easy to find in that group. So I think that's it. I think that's all we've got to talk about. So come on in, let's get to the sewing of 4 Points. This is a good scrap buster. I think you'll like it. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine. We're going to do the hardest, the hardest things first. And the hardest things are either the triangles or the square and a square. Let's do the square and a square first. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we have 4 of these little triangles, and you get them from the cutting instructions or in the book, or in the show notes or the description box. So now needle matching. Needle matching, and I'm just going to hold this up here. Needle matching is where this goes in, right? Like you have both sides the same hanging out. Needle matching is that divot right at the end. The divot right at the end. You put at the 1/4 inch, and that will give you that perfect 1/4 inch seam. Okay, let me just get this out. Oops, get that over there. And put a half square triangle through. Now these are just so cute. I found the cutest brighter blue, and medium. There we go. Now I'm going to do the other side. Okay. There. There we go. Here. Now. The square and the square. And another one of these. Just to get all the square and the square done. There's only one square and a square. Okay. And now, I'm just going to finger press this up. You would take it to your iron and make a really nice, perfect press, but I'm just going to press this way. Okay, now again, we want to take that. Then you could clip off your corners if you wished. And I can do it just like this. There we go. And yeah, this block has several names, of course, like all of them. It seems like all of them have several names. It's like, good grief. Anyways, I'm calling it 4 points. Let's see. And again, there. This subunit is just easy to do. So nice. There. So nice. Okay, let's get the rest of the half square triangles done. Because you'll see how this all goes together. Once we get all this stuff done. There. There we go. There's the center. Oops. There. Okay. Yeah, we're filming this September 12th. And our kittens are, what, 26, 27 weeks old? Oh my goodness. They're right at that crazy age. Like, oh my goodness. The noise. Oy. It's, you know, if you can hear them in the background, I'm so sorry that you can hear them, but there's not a lot I can do. They disrupt nap time in this house. I'm sorry to say, but it's they're adorable though. They're very cuddly, but they're very, you know, they eat and then, you know, 20 minutes later they've got the zoomies and it's like, oh Lord. And they are getting bigger. They're very healthy. So that's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun with these guys. Okay. And the last of the half square, you gotta make 12. Right? So. Okay. So this, I'm just gonna cut all of these apart. Just like so. And we're going to, alright. We're going to press to the dark, and the dark is the blue, because for some reason this orange is just a bit lighter than the blue, and I'm hoping it pops. Oh, I just should cut off cut off that extra dog ear. I gave you the traditional method of doing triangles, because I don't know if you have that easy angle ruler or not. If you have the easy angle ruler, you're making squares that are 2.5 inch, I believe. Yeah, 2.5 inch. So yeah, that easy angle ruler makes this so easy to do because you just cut a 2.5 inch strip and you cut all 12 of your half square triangles. You cut one of orange, of 2.5 inch of orange and 2.5 inch of this pale blue, and you know, you're away. You got 12 half square triangles in a heartbeat. So that's always so nice to have that tool. And like, that's one of the tools I do recommend that you pick up. You know, it's a specialty ruler, but it's in my hand probably once, twice a week, you know, easy in my hand once, twice a week. Okay, so the blue is lower volume, so it's considered the dark. So I'm just gonna give a quick little press on all of this, and then I'll assemble. Now, there is a block that you need to make a template. I decided I'm going to show you how to do this block without making a template and just trimming, because trimming sometimes is easier to do than sitting around and trying to make a funky little template. And basically the template looks like a little house, but you'll see in a minute here. As soon as I get all this done, there we go. I found this musical print. I just thought it was such cute thing. So every once in a while you have a violin or something like that going on. Okay, so we got the hard bits done. Let's get this all out of the way. Okay. And we're going to start assembling this block. Now you have 4 of these long navy strips, right? And you're going to put them here, like just like that, around the outside edge, right? Your little blue 1.5 inch. This is why I don't cut 1.5 inches anymore, because there's so many of them that I make and create that I don't want to make anymore. So this goes dead center. These go like this, just like that. And you'll have 3 going in on every corner. Now it looks like a lot going on here all of a sudden. Trust me, it's fine. There. Oops, I should get that one off. Yeah, I'll get that one off right now. Give it a quick trim. There. Give it a quick finger press. And you can see how this block is going to come together. Now, the darks go like so. Wait a minute, it goes like this. No, it goes like this. Okay, it goes like that. The darks go that way. I need to probably look at my picture now, don't I? I should probably look at my picture. I should. Because I got a funny feeling I'm going to mess this up. And then these go like this around, just like that. Well, yeah, I'm going to cut here because I got, all of a sudden I'm confused. So I will stop, because you don't want to start sewing stuff together when you're confused. So I'm going to stop and come back. Okay, now you're going, wait a minute, what have you done? What I did was I took all of this and I changed it all around, right? So the orange was in the corner, now the blue is, right? So this is what confused me. And when something like that happens, you're better off to stop, look at the picture, don't sew anymore. Because I mean, that, you just, all it does is give you more stuff to undo, right? And you don't need to be doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, these 2 pieces here, and I'm going to sew on the little orange triangle right here. Okay? That's what we're going to do here first. We're going to sew on this little orange triangle. Let's get all of this out of the way, because, oops, I lost a piece now. There we go. There. So we're going to do just this little orange triangle. We're going to sew it on the side. So we're assembling the inner square first. Okay. Even I do this, guys. You know, don't feel bad ever about, you know, not being able to, you know, to do this, and, you know, you make mistakes and stuff. You know what? Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody does this. Everybody goes through this. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, at some point they make mistakes, right? And, you know, you do your best, the best that you can to make sure you minimize your mistakes, or you have a really good steamer for it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Now I'm going to take the little triangle from the other side and put it on this way. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a little wing on this block. There. There we go. And I'm going to create this just like so. And I'm going to go all the way down there. Easier to sew it that way. Okay. Now, I'm going to go like this here, right across. Right across. There we go. And might be a little on the big side, but that's okay. Now you want to make your point. That's why I've got this side up. So that means I'm sewing on this minute here. We'll get that off for a sec. I'll get it off right now. I'll show you. So what I did is I put this up so I could see my point where the X is, and then I stitch this side like a thread on the point, right? And now when I open it up, I have a perfect point showing, right? So now let's put this on the other side, and again we're going to flip this way so I have the perfect point, so I can see my point, so I can make the perfect point. If you can't see your point, you're not going to make the point, right? That's basically how this is all going to work. Now, okay. There. Now, what you're going to do, there. So I'm just going to finger press this out of the way. There we go. Now I'm going to take these, and I'm going to take these, and I'm just going to finger press them out. Oh wait, they should go in. Yeah, they should go in. Oh no, yeah, they should go out. No, they should go in. They should go in. So you gotta press these to go in. They gotta go in. Sorry. I know. It's one of these days. Oh my god. And you want to press it to go in so you can match. You can match your, make some perfectly nested seams, right? So you have to press it so it goes in. Press the blue in. Okay, so now I'm going to take a pin. I'm going to take a pin just to make sure that this nests perfectly. And I'm going to take a pin on the other side to make sure it's nesting perfectly. Okay. Just like that. And now I'm going to stitch from this side. Oops, where did that go wrong? Okay, wait, you know what? I need to do some trimming on this block because it is not lying flat. It is not lying flat. So I'm going to trim right along the edge here, and there's just a hair of blue that's going to come off of those blocks. Now this blue, this larger blue block, that's the one that needed the template, but I'm going to show you how to do this block without the template, right? So you can get this done really well. Now I want to put my 1/4 inch mark right on that perfect point, and we're just going to go through it, trim it all off. Trim it all off like that. So basically you've cut these pieces 3.5 by 4, right? It's by 4 inch. It's a little bit big, but that's fine. Now we're going to put these in, and I'm going to just run this under. Let's start somewhere near the middle, or near the middle. That's good. I've still got a good nesting there. And I did start my stitching a little short, so I don't have the great big long thing to cut. Now I'm going to try and get this nested up perfectly. Now the bigger piece is on the bottom, and I want to make my point absolutely perfect. There we go. And I've lost it. Now I just struggle and put it back together. Come on. Nope, you're just being obstinate. Sometimes fabric is just obstinate. That's all. It is what it is. But that's, you know, that's the reality. Okay. There, now, we'll cut about halfway. Take this, push it out of the way. There we go. Nice, neat little seam. And I got just a micro pucker that might scratch out. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Now, again, and we want to take this, again, put this just like so. Halfway. There we go. There. Now, you want to grab the other end of this and have all of that work in and stay on the right side of our point so we can make a perfect point, because this is what's making this block look really sharp. Nested seams, perfect points. There. And it's, believe it or not, a good scrap buster, because you can put, you know, just one color in here that basically marries all the other colors together, and the rest of it can all be scraps, right? So as long as you're playing with your values of, you know, dark, medium, and light, you know, there you go. And there we are. Nice, perfect little points. Now, this, of course, now needs a trimming, right? So this is measuring 6.5. So what you're going to do is go 6.5 inches out, right? 6.5. There you've made your little house peaks. I'm saving the blue. Now, there we go. There, I'm saving the blue bits. And, okay. There we go. Ooh, that's tipped. There. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, oops, that block now goes into the middle. So the next thing we're going to do, right, this is our 4 points. This is the center. Now we're going to start building the rows that go together, right? Because we can't really do this one by webbing. And we're just going to put this and this together. There. Make sure this is, you know, 6.5 inches square, right? So that goes back just like so. And then we put another piece here. There, just like that. And you just build your block now, or you build this around, right? Okay. There we go. There, just like that. And we want to do these two together. Yeah. I know why this thing confused me so much is because you're playing, if you're playing with this as a real scrappy piece, you know, like your, let's say your light blue is your whatever is going to bind all of the, create unity within your block, right? Well then, you know, all the orange now can be whatever color. It can be, you know, whatever fabric color choice you want to make, because the blue is creating the unity. Okay, so this goes up like this. Then we do the side over here. There, just like that. There we go. There, one more. Oops. And that goes like that. And take your time, line them up. Don't get crazy. You know, just, yeah. Now we're going to start sewing the little pieces to the center first. And let's see. Now everything's kind of on a bias here on this big block. So some people want to put the bias on the bottom, and if that's what's making you comfortable, you can do it. You can do that. There we go. And I'm just going to make this work. The press to the dark, so you're pressing the dark blue in on itself, so you don't see that through the orange. Okay, there we go. Now, oh, okay, there we go. Oops. There. Yeah, I'm going to leave the bias on the bottom because I think that's helping everything pull together or come together. There. Now that avoids, so once you see this now, once you see the center here, you see that you avoid making that template. You have just a little bit of stuff you're cutting off that could go back into the crumb bin. Right now this goes here like so. Oops. Oh, there's crumbs everywhere. Crumbs of orange, crumbs of this, crumbs of that, yeah. And string. Oh my god. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this, and the bias is still on the bottom. This block has got the biases. Now you're going to make this first one like that, and then this will tip in, right? So you want the dark blue to tip in. Where is this? Okay, this goes out. This gets tipped in. Okay, and you nest, and then write it in. There. So far, so good. That looked easy. It is. Okay, now we do this side. There. There we go, just like that. We're nesting first. There, and then we nest at this end. And we nest the same direction. So all of this now falls perfectly in line. When I first saw this block, I was like, oh, I love this block. Oh, wouldn't this be fun if, you know, I started thinking all the possibilities, and it was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I could have fun with this block. In a hurry. So now, this just goes together like an uneven 9 patch, right? Just very quick, very simple. And the little pieces on the bottom. Oops, my foot vibrated off. Okay, so this goes together just like an uneven 9-pack. So we don't have to assemble any more rows, right? That'll be easy. The little stuff is on the bottom. There. So this, let's get it started. And then you ease in the end, just like so. Now you want to make sure this all goes the right direction, right? So the block is going to lie flat. The dark blue goes in on itself, right, in the block. And then it goes this way, all the way to the end. And your sewing machine now has done all the work for easing in, right? So that's a big bonus. Okay, and then this goes in just like so, and there's your first line of webbing. Now you flip this over. Oops, you flip it over just like so. I should do it this way actually. Hang on, where is this going? Just like this. So now I'm going to take the little piece here, because I don't want to lose how those are going, which way those those pieces are going to be sewn down, right? So I'm flipping it over. And now this piece goes down. And I'm just going to start it on the end. And match up the other end. Now everything is probably going to ease in lovely, I hope. I hope. The dark blue gets turned inward. Again with the inward. And then this. Okay, these go together just like so. There. And now we just sew the other way. Now again, I'm going to put the small, this is counterintuitive, right? So I want to press away from the dark blue, right? So press to the dark, right? Press to the dark, make sure this all comes this way. Okay. There we go. Nice. So now when you're pressing your blue is going to go this way, right? Like that pale blue. Okay, and I want to make sure I flip it over because I've got more concern about these flipping and twisting, right? So, okay, I'm just gonna snip this just a bit there. Now, okay, that little dot on the, or that little inch and a half inch strip, square, I mean, is just a nice little like touch of extra bits and bobs. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to snip this end, and this is going this way. So I get that all nested, and now I'm just going to sew all of this the way it needs to lay flattest. Okay. And there. Okay, that all matches up perfect, yes. It's basically a lovely little border that goes on the end of this, right? So now again, flip this under, and I'm just gonna clip this. Okay, so that's, line your ends up. Okay, line your ends up. Put your foot down, and don't hold your string. And with the 301A and the featherweight, you're holding your string for just a little bit, like 1 or 2 stitches, and then you're good to go, right? So, and let's get this end clipped because it's all in the right position, so perfectly lined up. Okay, this goes like this. Okay, this goes like this. know. So now all of this outside end bit that I just put on is going to be flipped out, you know, pressed straight out, right? Because of the dark, you don't want your dark showing through, let's say, some really pale colors that you put in this block. And it's always nice with a dark frame. I do have a micro pleat right there. I might take that out. I might show you guys how to take it out and resew it. That would be interesting little thing to do. There's my micro pleat, and I have scratched it and it won't come out. So I'm just going to bend this back and take a stitch out. Take a stitch out or two and just ease it in differently. So hopefully now I've got just enough. I've opened it up just enough to get the pucker eased, right? So I can, you know, take another stitch here or whatever, you know, another stitch on both sides if I want. But sometimes you don't have to do a lot to get that pucker eased out, right? Now that's kind of a weird way of doing it, but it's the way it works. Now, I sewed it this way first, right? So because I don't need to see this because it's already sewn, so I can flip it over like this. And I'm going to put this under, and I'm going to hit back and forth just a bit, and where I ripped, and I can feel where that knot is, so I just go back and forth over it a bit. Now I trim off both threads. If you got a pucker this is for a pucker that will not come out. Now there's no pucker. My pucker disappeared. So that's how you do a pucker. Anyways, let me give this a good iron and we'll get to our big ta-da moment. Okay, here's our big ta-da moment, and yeah, it worked. It looked great. So I think this color combination is just, you know, pretty dynamic. Like I say, if you only had the one color and the rest was going to be all scraps, what you could do is you could take the light blue, make that all one color, and then make everything else scrappy, and this still follow the rules of dark, medium, and light, right? Because that would work. I'm kind of curious. This kind of creates a key lock system here too with the dark blues. So that was kind of an interesting little element we threw in there just by color placement. That's the only thing that we played around with this block was color placement. So I do hope you give this one a try. Sorry for all of a sudden getting mixed up and confused, but you know what? That's when you stop. As soon as you're confused, stop, look at the pattern, look at the block again. I had to run, go get my crazy shorthand notes, and I thought, okay, let's not make a mess of this, so let's make this work. But it worked out really cute. So, like I say, I do hope you give it a try, and I hope everything in your life is going absolutely fabulous for you, and your 1/4 inch is right on the money. So, take care and stay well until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.